I think most women don't necessarily have to live in a lap of luxury. I don't think it's that. But no, I would say majority.
Most American women?
Actually, I would say exactly the majority of women don't have to live in a lap of luxury to be happy or be, sustained. It's about who they're with, the relationship, right? But I would refuse to be in a position in which I feel safe in the environment that I'm in and downgrade to go somewhere that is less safe. I grew up in the hood, and I would avoid everything that I can to never go back. If I had to, absolutely.
I think that applies if you've created that level of safety for yourself. If you already live in the hood, you can stay there a few more years.
That's true.
Mike, let me ask you this question, Miss Taken. Right. Let me ask you this question. Would you rather be a single mom in the suburbs or have a complete family in the old neighborhood?
Hood adjacent.
Would I rather be a single mom?
I want to watch
in an affluent suburb.
I want to watch this.
Or be in a less whatever type of community, right? Because I know the word hood is.
It depends on what age and stage.
For a lower income family.
It depends on what age and stage I'm in my life. My young me, I would go ahead and I would be in the hood with knowing that I have the time to build enough money to move out versus being like, middle-aged, about to retire or something like that. And then take a step backwards and go back into the hood. I'm not built for that.
I'm confused. That's not what I'm asking. I'm confused, Marcus. I'm trying to figure out why that question came up.
So this is the thing. If his general point was he was trying to advocate for men that may not have enough money, because y'all say I'm not caring about other men that may not have enough money, right? That would create a family and have that family together versus you living in a lap of luxury. And if you truly cared about the family and the kids more than a lap of luxury, being a single mom in an affluent neighborhood wouldn't even compare to having both parents in whatever other situation, because what you could be getting from both parents, if you truly valued it, is different than what you would get just being in an affluent neighborhood.
I'm trying to figure out why those two things came up though. Like, why wouldn't you just be in a nice neighborhood?
No, it was a question on what's more important.
The family, right? The family part, of course, is more important. But part of taking care of the family is putting him somewhere in a situation that's safe for all. That's the very reason why we moved from New York. You know what I'm saying? We lived in a not so safe area. We still had our family. Our family was intact, but a part of that decision making was what is in the best interest of the family. I want my kid to be able to go outside, ride a bike, be safe. I don't want to go outside and have to walk over the rats that been hit, in the middle of the night by the car.
Not even that.
That's not an environment that I want my child in. So part of that is, this is what we can afford right now, but let's aspire to get out of the hood and get something better. Even if that means we have to move out of the state. So even if I had to downgrade somewhere else by moving to another state, I'm willing to do that as long as safety is the priority as well.
So I want you to, real quick, I want you to realize that men agree with you. How many, other than some other people, how many two-parent households do you see in the hood?
Not many.
Exactly. Men, that is already our power as couples to say, we can do better for ourselves and our children. So men already agree with you on that. But I will say this, right now, as far as couples are concerned, people are unrealistic about the timeline in which that's supposed to happen. All right. Because I don't think a lot of women get with men and are realistic about how fast that man should be able to do that for them. Which is why some women are like, no, I'll work too. We could use my money. We could, so if women want men to if they want to be stay-at-home moms and solely be the provider, it takes time to get you up out of them bricks, man. I'm telling you, it takes a little bit of time.
So I agree with that. I think in like the microwave generation, people just don't have patience for anything. right? Including the work it takes to build a foundation for a relationship and to get the desired result you want. I also have a different working theory. It's a little spicy, it's a little contentious, but I have serious pushback about the fact that like the majority of women want the lap of luxury. I think most women just want comfort.
Yep.
Hang on, I'm getting to the spicy point. I think some men, when they settle down, they choose a woman that they wouldn't normally choose because she fits the program. And it shows in the relationship. And I think women build resentment over that and then demand things in exchange for what they feel like they're being shortchanged for, right? Because if it's one thing that women know, it's when a man actually loves a woman, how that woman is treated versus the woman that man settled for because it's easier. And this is where we get into that territory where things become transactional, where the high value man, the 666, the lap of luxury, and all that stuff starts to come into play. Is that I feel like I'm not being appreciated and loved and supported in what I want to do, and so I'll play ball with you, but this is the cost that it's going to come with, right? So yes, women are saying this. I think also with the acknowledgement that men aren't choosing the woman that they want typically for marriage.
Can I go back to the point that we were talking about earlier?
They are choosing the woman that they want, but they're just sleeping with her. They're just not married to her. And so he's absent because he's somewhere else.
Yeah, I want to go back to
why is that so funny?
Earlier.
Why is that funny, Sham?
That happens. It's not funny. Listen here. You're not gonna take my laughter, little devil. If I want to smile, I'm gonna smile. Listen, let me just tell you something about me. If I'm gonna smile, a person who tell you not to smile, I'm gonna smile. You can sit over here and frown on
you. You were a little too happy about the destruction of the family.
Because it's hilarious. Because y'all sit here and you put he doesn't mind being with this person, but he's cheating on her. He's cheating on her.
Oh, tell us how you really feel. Okay, all right, bet.
You understand? He doesn't want to be there. He's fooling himself. And she feels it, and then he's mad when she leaves because he's fooling her. He's trying to manipulate her. Like, come on, let's be real about the situation.
And I was going to say, and I think to Naz's point that most women are okay with being, like you said, being in a place where they're comfortable. It doesn't have to be in the lap of luxury, like I was saying, but you watch social media, you keep putting yourselves in these spaces where the women that are talking, they're reiterating the fact that they need to be flued out. They need to be all of these things. And then y'all associate that with all women and then focus on the women that do say that reiterates that to you in your mind when that's not the case. When I met wasn't my husband at the time, I was living in the suburbs. I grew up in the hood. My mother was telling my dad, I don't want my kids growing up in this hood. Like, we need to move. And at 13, we ended up moving into the suburbs in New York and in Westchester. Then when I met my husband, he lived in Harlem. I left suburbs to go live with him with the understanding that we are going to do better. I was okay with working towards getting something better. And so when Mike said we don't have the realistic expectation about how quick that will happen, I think that depends on the woman that you have in your life. Because for me, pressing the issue of we're not going to raise our kids here, at the same time, us being on the same page in an agreement of not wanting to raise our children here, that we both got on the same page to make that happen more quickly. I was willing to do the work alongside him so we can get what we needed to get in order to move. So it wouldn't have taken 14 years like it did for me, growing up to get out the hood, versus it took 2 years for us, 3 years for us to get out of the hood. So one of the best decisions that he could have made was marrying me.
Oh, you had to sneak that one in there.
Okay.
Yeah,
that's like the truth, though. That's like the truth, though.
All right, we see where this is going.
Choosing the right wife will make or break.
This was
Girl,
a
you are so
self-promotion.
lucky. It don't even make no
life.
goddamn own sense.
So let's take a break.